Meeting of Secretaries Union Changes Champions during this 74th annual session of the India Growth Fund.
First of all, I will apologize for being a bit late. We had an IRC Executive Committee meeting and then that delayed us, and of course some traffic also. So we'll start the meeting, and I find that probably some more chief ministers will be joining us. And if you permit, maybe we can start with the presentations which are scheduled as the last item. By that time, in the last item we have mentioned one presentation, but we have lined up 3 presentations. First, we will take something. Our Mr. Kaushik Basu of the ministry, he is doing a wonderful job in inspection of the bridges through the mobile bridge inspection unit. And I will request him to give that presentation. The focus is on how to organize these bridge inspections and the way forward. So the initial few slides he will be skipping. He'll be skipping just to show the equipment and all that, and then he'll be focusing on the organization of how to organize bridge inspections, annual bridge inspections or periodic bridge inspections, and the way forward. Mr. Kaushik Basu, please.
Thank you, sir. From the side of a bridge, and it goes underneath the bridge and provides access to officers to inspect all components of a bridge below the deck level. This animation will make it clear. There are basically 2 types, platform types. As you can see, the ladder platform is being launched from the side, then it opens up in a vertical plane, it is rotated in the horizontal plane, it goes on the side of the bridge deck, and through a telescopic arrangement it can be extended also. There is another boom type MBIU which is shown below. Now, it can be used, the access provided by MBIU can be used for data collection, testing, maintenance like greasing of bearings, removal of vegetation, debris, minor repair. There are 7 MBIUs deployed by the ministry in different states. Out of these 7, 5 states have signed Memorandum of Understanding which lays down the modalities for use of this MBIU. Tamil Nadu being the first, but that's an old MOU. The other 4 states, West Bengal, Odisha, Himachal Pradesh and Assam, have signed a new MOU which enables inspection of even state bridges free of cost. These are the performance data of the MBIU in Odisha. As you can see, in 2011-12 there was brilliant performance because the inspection was done in a very planned manner. West Bengal has done fantastically, one of the pioneering states, and you can interested to see that it has got an equal share of state bridges and NH bridges. These are the data from which we can arrive that the approximate rate of inspection is 300 units of bridge length per day. It's only the inspection, it translates into 1 meter per minute, 1 meter of bridge length per minute of inspection time. This does not include the equipment operation time. This gives a breakup of the expenditure, the wage component, repair and maintenance, operation, taxes. This is a summary of the data. I will not go into the detail, just see the summary at the end that the unit operation cost comes to rupees 210 only per meter of bridge length. Now, this slide shows the economic analysis for taking into account the investment cost. We get the total operational cost. The total cost of inspection of bridge with MBIU is 265 per meter, whereas by conventional means it is as much as rupees 5,413 per meter. That too only up to 3.9 meter height. Beyond that it increases even more. So this is very economical using MBIU. Now coming to the main focus, how to organize the bridge inspection. First you have to identify the bridges, considering the accessibility and approachability, that is the MBIU should be able to go into that bridge. The road line, turning radius should be conducive to that. Then the span length, the connective width, the gutter depth, these are the parameters which have to be taken into account. Now if there are restrictions on the size, like utilized as you can see, the MBIU, the platform will not be able to be, you can't launch the platform. I have worked out certain parameters which you need to using which you can estimate what is the minimum span length that can be inspected with this MBIO. This needs to be worked out beforehand to save time. Otherwise, it will be only a futile operation. The platform won't coincide. Now, these are those data I am going to the details. The interesting part about successful bridge inspection in Odisha and West Bengal is that we have phased the programs. It has been carried out in different phases, as you can see from the slides. Now, after the bridges are decided, that's identified, then the sequence of inspection has to be decided, taking into account the main criteria is to minimize the travel distance. And then the halt places has to be marked. The estimating the time schedule, how many bridges can be inspected in a day, that's the most crucial part of organizing a successful bridge inspection program. Here again, certain parameters need to be determined beforehand. There are bridge parameters, equipment parameters, and general parameters. Based on that, I have given an equation. You can use it to formulate the day-to-day schedule of bridges. This gives the cost analysis, how do you arrive at the overall cost. Now, once the day-to-day inspection schedule and the phases are finalized, then you have to mobilize the operation team and the inspection team, set the protocols for documentation, test and repair, and implement the program and document the findings. If there are emergency situations, flash reports have to be sent, and otherwise in a routine manner, the condition survey report has to be prepared and submitted, and then take rehabilitation and repair measures. I've given a time schedule for doing it. Basically, our 6 months program, April, May, and November to February. The 6 months program is for actual inspection. This shows an actual bridge inspection order issued by the West Bengal. On the left-hand side is the deployment order, then the right-hand side is the first annexure, gives the daily schedule of inspection. The second annexure gives the list, the operational team and the inspection team, and the last one on the right-hand side is the annexure of halt, where even the bungalow bookings are specified. So it has to be a complete package. This is the condition survey report, a sample. The list of bridges, this is the map. These are the actual photographs and the data. You can see, without this bridge inspection unit, you won't even get access below the bridge deck. You can't reach it. This is a coordination bit. I'll show you a special case. The advantage of MBIU can be understood from this. Coronation Bridge, constructed in 1941 over Pista, 170.9 meter length. It has a height rise of 91.5 meters. I'll just show you a 1 minute video. What is the distance here? The video is not coming. Because nothing makes the unique advantage of this here than the video. No, maximize. So make it full screen. This is below the leg. You can see the unit, the truck is moving forward, and there are personnel standing on the platform. This bridge is having a height rise of 91.5 meters. This platform will go underneath the bridge and it provides access to all points under the bridge there. Without this unit, it would be almost impossible to even go underneath this coronation bridge. This particular shot will make it very clear. This unit was used on the Coronation Bridge in 2010-11 and several damages, distresses were noted. and after which repairs were done, painting was done. The next slide will show a comparison of this two. This gives the comparison. 2010-11, as you can see, even the exact bearings have been shown. One is a ordered one and the other is repaired and released. MBI is safe for business inspection. It's simple and safe, it's accurate, it's faster, it's economic. And the success of bridge inspection with MBIU is possible only with the initiative of the higher officials of the PW. I'd like to acknowledge a few, particularly Mr. S. Sengupta and Mr. N.K. Sharkar and D. Kunar of West Bengal and Mr. Pradhan of Odisha. They have been instrumental in making this a success. Thank you.
Thank you. You know, this bridge inspections, though we say we have most of the states, all the states have some periodic inspections specified by the officers. We are not sure whether the inspections are taking place periodically, and then a systematic approach to the inspections as well as the documentation is not available. So we will request all the states, and then we should do the inspections probably with these MPIUs. Government of India Ministry has given 7 MPIUs. They are with Himachal Pradesh, Haryana, Madhya Pradesh, Tamil Nadu. I understand Tamil Nadu has transferred it to Kerala now, and then West Bengal, Odisha, and Assam. And these MPIUs can go to the adjacent states also and take their carry out the inspections with the concerned state officers. Only thing that will be required is to, as he was mentioned, it has been planned, including their stay arrangements, the officers detailed for this work to move the MPIUs. And the MPIUs, what plan also, how much they can cover these days. So maybe in a month's time, the states can identify what are the bridges that will be taken up for this inspection with the MPIUs already with them. Himachal Pradesh, Haryana, Madhya Pradesh, West Bengal, Odisha, Assam, and probably Kerala, because Tamil Nadu has transferred it to Kerala. The adjacent states also can plan and then make use of these MPIUs available. In case any doubts, clarifications are required, I will request Mr. Kaushik Basu, who will be our resource person for planning and organizing this, you can get in touch with him and then get the things planned and data are collected and documented, and please send us a copy also, hard copy as well as soft copy. About the MOU, it seems the latest MOU which has been entered into the Government of India with some of the states, latest MOU, permits the MPIU to be used on state bridges also in that state at no cost. So probably if that may be I think our side we should be open in case the states wish to, that the MPIU instead of idling, they will be used on national highways also and state highways also as they traverse that state. I would like to have your views in case. And one more thing is, Haryana it seems is not using the MPIU. I would like to know the reason for that also.
We have already requested the Ministry of Transport to transfer to some other state because we don't have that kind of bridges. We have almost requested almost 6 months back.
Okay. You don't have bridges which can be inspected?
Yeah, exactly that. So if anybody wants to have that, may be transferred to some other state.
And then your bridges are getting periodically inspected and documentation.
We are doing, because it's not through that machinery which we need that.
Manually it is being done. Documentation is available. Can the documentation be made available to us? We want to have that, centrally, CRRI, IRC and Ministry.
As sir, we have submitted several estimates to Ministry of Transport for sanction of those bridges. Unfortunately, they have not been taken on trial.
The thing is, what we are finding is, as he brought out in that presentation, inspection with MBAU is much cheaper. Okay, but then we will see why your the particular machine is not capable of doing bridges in Haryana, and then we'll have to work on that. Any other state? Any other?
The only thing I wanted to say that if wherever we find the bridges are requiring some implementation, we are ready to have estimation which we are also sanctioned. I think the intention was that we periodically have inspections of the bridges carried out, and we have the data available which should be available on 50 periodicity. That's the only intention. So we have the complete data available, and then one can really keep on, depending on the prioritized requirement now, keep on sanctioning the units. And maybe the next time when the inspection is carried out, we do really see automatically as to what was the repair work was carried out and what is the impact of that over a period of a year or two or so. So if we are carrying out the periodically the inspection, and those inspection reports are available, those reports would also help, in fact, in expeditious sanction of the estimates. So it's a combined overall effort. MBIU is only a tool through which we can really get a good inspection done, which for the bridges, which are otherwise not, it's not possible to do. So wherever the bridges can be inspected otherwise and they are getting inspected, it's perfectly fine. I think it's a question of getting the entire national highway inspected, all the bridges, putting all the data at one place and coming up with that. That's the only thing.
Maheshji, I request you to give the details of your bridges in Haryana to Mr. Kaushik Basu. He can give it directly or to us. So that he will, because he has done so many bridges, whether it is possible to do with the MBAU, and then if it is required, yesterday I was discussing with him. He was mentioning that some of the bridges is not possible because the platform has to rotate and go inside. So, but then there should be there can be some arrangement. We can take it up with the manufacturers. It comes there, opens up, and then comes inside the span. So probably we look into that why the machine supplied to Haryana is not able to inspect those bridges.
I'll explain, sir. I'll explain to your query, sir. Prior to you, that issue has been discussed with the three director generals of Ministry of Transport. We have discussed at length, and then it was decided to transfer this machine only because of the reason. Yeah.
I'm not saying that you don't want the machine will transfer. Absolutely no problem. But at the same time, whichever state is using it, in case the adjacent state wants to get it done for the national highways as well as the state routes, we will consider it. Mr. Gross wants to.
The two MBIUs are there, one in Himachal Pradesh, another is in Haryana. Haryana government has written ministry to transfer to other states. In Patna session it was decided UP, PW, they were interested in taking that machine, but ultimately they refused. So my submission is that one machine, because Haryana has already requested, this machine should be transferred to either Tamil Nadu or Andhra Pradesh or Kerala itself, and that old machine could be disposed of regarding at the economical behavior. This decision may kindly be taken, and irrespective, the southern states may be requested who are interested in getting the machine and this to be inspected. It has to be decided right now.
Now, this latest machines and the latest MOUs may be a win-win situation for the state also. The state's bridges also can be inspected without any higher charges. That is the MOU I am told, MOU, Government of India has agreed to. So which state wants to have it? Would Tamil Nadu like to have it as Mr. Das mentioned. Mr. Rajamohan is here. Would you like to have the latest mission? The old mission you are transferred to Kerala. Now there is a latest mission which is available in Haryana. Whether if you have it, because you are already having that RADMS and then that equipment, Ramdas you are running, 2 Ramdas. So would you like to develop on that, and then probably we can think of a highway station coming up in a very big way for conducting testing for maybe if not the entire country, at least the region.
Sir, if you go ahead, you want to supply the new machine, sir?
Yeah, a new mission and a new MOU. The old MOU with the Tamil Nadu government was that only national highways, bridges and the bridges on state highways will be on higher charge basis. Now the new MOU says you can use it for the state road bridges also. And then we will develop on it. You know, somehow the costly machines which have been imported, they are not being used properly. The cost of inspection, as very rightly pointed out by Mr. Kaushik also, is that it is much cheaper. How much times?
1/20 of the
1/20 the cost of the manual inspection, and it is faster also as it brought out. So only thing it is required is we try to work out the modalities how it can be done, whether stopping and other things. And I think highway resuscitation, I have recently visited highway resuscitation, and I think highway resuscitation has the capabilities of handling it. Originally HRS was handling it, or whatever zone you would like to design, they can handle it with active support from HRS. HRS can be the for maintaining the database also.
Yes, sir, we are accepting, sir.
Very good. Yeah, one more mission. What new mission?
A new we are not using.
Anybody from Himachal, King State? Anybody from Himachal? The coronation bridge, what he had shown, see the beauty of that bridge and beauty of that mission, how they had done it.
So in West Bengal, in 30 working days, we have inspected 70 bridges, totaling 10,000 meter of bridge length. It's not possible to do that manually.
Good. The question is, would you like to have the machine or Gawati? You know, you are having a ceiling.
We have completed one database of bridges in Nagaland. That is successfully done by the business. It is very useful. I will read many of the bridges. I will to estimate on the structure. Because analysis is very easy to do analysis also in this method.
You know, this is a chance which states will not get it. We are not going to import any more missions. And this is one of the latest missions. One mission is available, which Himachal doesn't want for some reason. If Guwahati wants to, you can use it for the entire northeast. Okay, second mission goes to Guwahati.
Already nothing is there, sir. So there is no need.
Assam is there. But then
Excuse me, sir. I am from Mizoram, and well, Assam is inspecting Kachar area, and in Kachar area there are some aging bridges over the Barak rivers, and they can come to Mizoram, extended to Mizoram.
absolutely no problem. That is what I said. Adjacent states. If no other state is requiring anybody from Karnataka, Karnataka chief in your hand to deal.
Because we have to do a lot of
Arunachal Pradesh.
we have got a very big area. Sir, I have a economic scheme is there.
Very good. I think you'll be able to handle it, and then okay, Arunachal. Let it be transferred to Arunachal. And now the basic issue is not having the NBIU. The basic issue is to have the bridges inspected and the inspection documentation to be made available, hard copy and soft copy. Can we say, even if the MPLU is not available with you, we are supposed to do it. So when can you give me the one complete survey done by your officers and then give us the data? There is IRC performer or when can you give us? Say 3 months time? When this season is, you can get it done, or you want to have another 3 months, 6 months time because this is working season. Can you say before the midterm council meeting, at the midterm council meeting, all the states will make available the related data? Can we do that?
It's okay, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Another presentation. And Mr. Rajiv Singh will be giving it. You know, the monitoring of the data. He has come up with a novel solution which doesn't require a costly software and all that, based on Google Drive. Anybody, I was watching my Jaipur Abo was correcting his data. Sitting in Delhi, I could see that. Each word type, I could see it from Delhi as it is typed.
Sir, for Tripura, I have some queries on bridge. Though NH-44, Assam border to Bangladesh Sabrum border, 330 kilometers, maintaining by BRU. All the bridges over NH-44 was constructed about 40-50 years back. So, immediate, thorough, physical inspection by applying machinery equipment is needed. As you are telling, before the next mid-council session, all states are in a position to submit the data. I do not know. So BRU has to be emphasized on those activities so that they can make the data available before the mid-session at Guwahati. And my concern is that Tripura is only having the one lifeline, NH-44, connecting Assam with the rest of the country. Once a bridge is collapsed, entire state will be in a jeopardized position. Which happened in 2008, one bridge had collapsed at Shaniswara, bordering Assam and Tripura. So it gave a lot of trouble, right from security movement, food base, and whatnot. So I think BRU may be instructed or requested so that all the bridges.
It is a very good suggestion.
Yes.
And
or any alternative mechanism is available with the ministry. That can also apply to get these things expedited.
Tripura is in your jurisdiction. Huh? Okay. Coordinate with them and coordinate with Guwahati MPIU. If you can spare it. You know, they feel that it is very crucial for them that the bridges are maintained. So can you organize? Who is in Guwahati?
I know the MPU has supposed to set up
each of the way and
get it done. Okay, thank you. And then the next presentation is Mr. Rajesh.
Good morning, DGRD, ADG, Ministry Chief Engineers, Secretaries, Engineer-in-Chief, and Chief Engineers from state governments, and other officers. I am going to make a brief presentation on use of Google Drive for online monitoring. Information technology has advanced like anything in last couple of years, and we must make use of that for...
Rajesh, sorry for interruption. Please try to hurry up because there is a council meeting also. We are time bound. Maybe 5 minutes.
Okay, sir. I
Come to
will
the
try to finish fast. Just to understand Google Drive, first we have to know the concept of storage. There are 3 types of storage: static, mobile, and online. Static and mobile, everybody knows. Online, new concept, that is cloud storage. The main thing in cloud storage is data is not stored in your device. it is stored at the remote server provided by the third party. And it can be accessed only through internet. There are many service providers for cloud storage, but mainly there are three: Google Drive, Dropbox and Microsoft SkyDrive. We will discuss only about Google Drive because it has advantages over others. The very distinguished advantage of cloud storage is you don't have to synchronize your data in all of your devices one by one. If I am using a computer, mobile, laptop or tablets, once I update my data, it is automatically synchronized to all the devices. And another thing is it can be accessed from anywhere. You don't have to be on your desktop to access that. Now we come to Google Drive. Google Drive supports wide range of files, all kind of files, not only Microsoft Office files we used to deal normally. Other than that, images, video, even archive, zip files, etc. And all the files you can open in web browser itself. You don't require any desktop application to open that file. And 5 GB in Google Drive, 5 GB data storage is free. That I think that is more than sufficient. Normal document file is 50 to 100 KB. If even we take average of 100 KB, we can save 5,000 document file at one place. Even it can be used to share large size of files in like Gmail or in other any email. We have limit of 25 MB per attachment. Here we can share a file of 2 GB, single file of 2 GB. A file can be shared up to 200 people, and at the same time 50 people can edit at the same time. The same file, out of 200 people, 50 can edit. Like in just to get the information, we used to email to state periodically, then they get the information from their concerned field unit. That is a very long procedure. That even if we are using email, that requires to and fro motion. First we have to email all the person, then they will submit their information, and after that you have to compile it. And this Google Drive that bypasses that procedure itself, because all the data is at one place only, and they can update there itself, and all the people, all the concerned, they can access. It is everybody know to use Google Drive. Of course, we should have good internet connection, broadband, and if you want to use in mobile, 3G is preferable. Gmail account is mandatory, and for using at mobile or tablet, Google Drive application that is available. Just I want to show live demo of this. Ministry actually we have just started using to see the allocation, expenditure, and updated position of black spots, etc.
You know, I can see the latest December report on my cell phone. I think probably he will be showing that. Entire country, all state, all ROs, whatever they update, it is there on my cell phone. And if somebody is updating now, I will get it now.
Like I have logged into my this Gmail ID. On top of the line you can see that Drive is there. From right side, third one, you go to Drive. And left side, like My Drive, that all the files and folders that are stored in My Drive. Like you can see font size is very small. It will be visible for. Like I have made folders of this IRC code, ministry circular, NH17 photos. I have uploaded some photos of national highways also. Review of NH works and this RO report final which we are using in ministry. Is it visible to all? This slide, it contains sanction of estimates under NHO, PR, allocation, expenditure and black spots. And all the data in this is being updated by respective ROs. Every month they used to update it, and it can be accessed by all the people whom which this file has been shared with.
I am showing this on my cell phone itself and getting it photographed.
And if it is visible, I can show just demo if I want to change any value, if I want to update any value from mobile itself, I can change it right now. If time is there, sir, so I can do it.
Not required, but then I have seen it, and maybe you can start using it. Go ahead with your presentation.
There are two options. You can create your own file in Google Drive, or either you can upload existing file. Like one red button is there, create. If you create that kind of document presentation, spreadsheet and many other documents are there, you can select whatever you want to create. And similarly, you can upload file or folder. But to upload any file, you have to ensure that you have to convert it to the Google Doc. Otherwise, it won't be editable by anybody. Further, I'm taking this like ministry file. Further, if you want to share, you have to go to right side, share button is there. You can share up to 200 people, like we have shared among all 18 ROs, some chief engineers and DC. We can add people, and the downside add people is there. We can add email ID of the people to whom we want to share the file. After that, there are two options. Either you can give view right or edit right. There are two options. Only the person who has been given edit right, they can only edit. Otherwise they can view only. Another thing is we can protect cells also. We can protect cells also to some respective person. Like in our sheet, we have given editing right to respective ROs for their states only. Like Andhra Pradesh, this can be edited by RO Hyderabad only. Nobody can edit it. That kind of thing is also there. Because the time is not there, that I cannot show now. Actually, practical part is very lengthy. Now I will come to the point, but how we can use it. I think state-wise, one Gmail ID can be created by chief engineer, and that can be shared among division executive engineers, superintending engineers of the state, along with respective project chief engineer and planning and DG, ADG, etc. And after that, all the information we require day-to-day basis, we can evolve such kind of performance and we can put there. And chief engineer of state PWD, he can issue the direction. Every executive engineer, he has to update the information fortnightly, monthly, or like that. And whatever information is there, they have to update it. Like review papers, ministry is doing quarterly review. That performance is also there. You can directly upload that performance and start updating every month. Not quarterly. Every month it can be updated. Even like parliament question or day-to-day details like NH lane details, bridges, dilapidated condition, bridges details, level crossing, and all kind of performance we are submitting, like information we are submitting to PMO, Cabinet Secretariat, Planning Commission. All that, those can be uploaded to Google Drive, and state PWD, they can directly update there. We will save a lot of time. And for project also, all the projects before execution, during execution, after execution, photographs and videos can also be uploaded. And anybody, project chief engineer or any ministry officer, we can see what is the position of the road. That kind of thing is also possible. Thank you.
Thank you, Rajji. You know, one issue will be whether when he was there. The issue is whether there is any security issue, but then whatever we are doing is actual fact. Is sanctioned works, their progress and all that. We are transparent, and anything when we put it on the cloud, say Google Drive, should not be an issue. Now the question is, can we take it up? Mahesh Kumarji is one of the persons who has so much interest in IT and all that. Always he carries his iPad around. And he was motivating me also. There may be others also who are interested, but this is a simple measure. Maybe initially it is a bit difficult to understand how he gives the right permissions to each RO, or in our case to each division engineer or executive engineer. But then he is available. He is available to any state your IT wing to handhold or to discuss. He'll be our resource person. We are identifying some resource persons from ministry and other states who can handle, who can take forward whatever they have developed. So I request all state chief engineers, as he said, first step maybe to create a Gmail ID at this for his chief engineer, and then for each executive engineer and super engineers. Maybe the chief engineers will have to give a direction in this regard, and then direct your executive engineers to update every month, say before 5th of in next month. If they update using the Gmail IDs, using the right permissions given by the chief engineer's Gmail ID, the program, and then the super engineer, anybody can see those things. He said 200 persons can view it, including ministry's officers. Can we decide to have it? Or if you have any issues, any other issues?
Sir, definitely it is possible. And in future, the ministry may like to see the live photographs also, and that also can be said. So the space available, maybe 5 GB will be too less. So this space has to be procured in a large scale.
Yes, that is what Mr. R.K. Pandey is mentioning. The ministry can pay for whatever is extra GB is required. Is it possible?
Yes, sir. We can purchase any kind, any storage, like 24, 25 GB. $5 is the rate per month. That means like 300 rupees per month to take 25 GB. And we can take even 100 GB, 1000 GB. There is no limit. And charges are reasonable.
We will take it. We should go cloud-based systems. And can we decide that the directions, Gmail IDs will be opened and the directions will be given to the executive engineers or division engineers?
Yeah, this is good solution and I appreciate this.
Thank you, Mr. Jain. And this is a presidential direction.
It should be continued. Only one point I want to add that earlier 10 years data, if it is to be uploaded on this website, so it will be also be helpful.
Let us start with, as you said, critical work-wise UDU format, and then build on it, including photographs and others. By the time we will get more GBs. Can we say within a month this, because it is within your powers, can you issue the directions within a month with a copy to us, so that it will motivate everybody, copy to IRC also?
I thought I would just add one thing over here. To move this forward, I think let one officer in each of the GPS office who we get in touch with our mobile, and to start with, maybe one proposal format on one issue or one particular project, something can be evolved, which Mr. Pandey would do in consultation with our mobile. This could be made available to everyone. So we will see how to upgrade or give more information on the past and expand it. But let's start off, figure it out with one item, with some simple things, and one officer from each of the chief officers or chief engineer's office, if he is designated, who should get in touch with Saro, so that these activities of opening email account, thereafter what next is being done, can be tracked off. And within a month time we can figure it out.
I think that's a good suggestion. And so we decide that the Gmail IDs will be open, and the direction comes individual state chief engineers for their executive engineers to update every month before 5th on the format, for which format preferably critical focus review, so that every state follows the same system, which will be decided by the designated officer. One officer will be designated by the chief engineer, who will interact with Rajiv Singh as necessary and get the things done. Can we say within a month? Thank you.
Yeah, but that's instead of 5th, we can consider 10th of every month. 10th of every month.
Done. 10th of every month. Next item. When we are talking about resource persons, Government of Tamil Nadu has developed a RADMS. Ministry is also in various forums. We are saying that RADMS is a very good platform. We can develop it. It is World Bank funded, developed with the World Bank funding. And their side, I think, I had seen that they had a stall at the Service Department of Government of Tamil Nadu. One Mr. Kumar was there, and probably if the state says he will be the resource person or somebody else will be the resource person, he is with the DG's office, Mr. Rajamani is here. Somebody, he can be the resource person for RADMS, all state chief engineers. The person who they nominate as a designated officer to interact on IT monitoring with Mr. Rajiv Singh, the same person can interact for RADMS also, take it forward. Mr. Rajamani. Mr. Kumar. Okay. Mr. Kumar, I am putting as the resource person for RADMS, and I will request the designated person of each chief engineer to have directions from the concerned chief engineer that he will interact for RADMS also. Let us see how best we can adapt and adopt the RADMS in your state also. And there is International Road Federation also developed some software and handheld devices. You may also think of those things in case in our fight against the road accidents, we will have to get the resource persons from so many states, organizations, NGOs. We go for the third and last presentation by Mr. Fatah. Mr. Paul.
I'm A.P. Bachar, Chief of Bridges in the Ministry.
5 minutes, please.
Yes, sir. Good morning, friends. In your folder, we have just provided a draft guidelines for movement of heavy and over dimensions consignment on national highways. Just kindly take it out those draft guidelines from each of the all. I request all the chief engineers to kindly just take it out back. As exponential growth in the infrastructure sector in the general and the power sector in particular has led to construction of thermal, hydro, nuclear power plants in different landlocked parts of the country in the recent past. This has led to significant increase in frequency of heavy and over-dimensional consignment being transported by road. Nowadays, as per the international practice, this all heavy dimension vehicles, heavy dimension consignment or over dimension consignments are being transported through this multi-axle hydraulic trailers. There is a sort of a modal drive. They can increase by adding axles, and they can increase the different. They can increase to the different number of axles can be added, and it functions like this. And whenever it is compared to the original conventional mechanical drive, whenever there is inclined surface is there, they adjust itself that the load on each axle becomes on a regular rate. At the moment, it is 18 tons per axle as per the international design, and which has been used in India by hydraulic trailer associations and people. As per the Central Motor Vehicle Act 1989, so presently the permissible RLW, that is your registered lorry weight, is allowed only 49 tons. When unladen weight is 17 tons, we can carry only 32 tons above as per the existing Central Motor Vehicle Act. But because of this heavy consignment and other things, the Ministry of Road Transport Highways through this road transport wing, for each and every consignment they issue the notification for each and every trailer with a certain 16 conditions. These are the conditions. Operation of the trailer has to be done only primarily. Load restriction of the various roads stipulated by the PWD local authority, NHAI will be observed, and permission of such authorities will be obtained every time the vehicle are on the road. The vehicles should display all the danger flags, coupling of the trailers along with the sides. These are the 16 conditions by which these trailers are registered and they are allowed to pass over the highways. The program of the movement of the trailers should be intimated at least 10 days in advance. The trailers shall be registered individually and not as a combination. If so, directed by the PWD of the state, NHAI, the loaded vehicle will not be allowed to pass over the bridges on the roads in the state of the UTI. In such cases, application will have to make their own arrangements to cross the river of Nala. They would need to obtain permission each and every time before moving on a particular route. According to this, 16 conditions are there. By this way, they are allowed to cross any bridge or any national highways. So what are the problems being faced by this Hydraulic Trailer Association? Due to the 16 stringent conditions, the owner of MHT needs to obtain permission from NH authorities. NH, with having the largest and widespread network of roads in our country, more than 98% of the movement of the MHT is on the national highway, there is delay in granting the permission due to the non-availability of guidelines for movement of MHT on the national highways. This has resulted in delay in movement of MHT carrying equipment for projects having national importance. Sometimes this delay is in months, resulting in huge national loss. Also due to the absence of guidelines, the concessionaires of the national highways misinterpret these 16 conditions and further delay the movement. The above problem aggravated so much that the owners of the MHT, represented by the Hydraulic Trailers Association, seeing the nature and the criticality of the problem, represented to the concerned authority to our ministry. The delay also resulted in our countries, national authorized companies as the BHL representing the ministry. The background was that this STO represented to the Honorable Minister.
You have 1 more minute.
Yes. They have represented to us, and then accordingly the ministry has directed to form a consulting the 4 consultants to analyze the bridges on the national highways. Accordingly 4 consultants were appointed, the Tandon consultants, BSN, and they have been termed as a TBEC. These consultants have gone through all those type of bridges and they have given certain, only simply supported type of bridges. Accordingly, a meeting was also organized by the ministry under the chairmanship of ADG as well as the secretary, and there was also a meeting was organized by the NHA. This is the type of bridges. This is sort of a simple basic concept of the bridge. And finally, they have taken in the analysis this type of the bridges. This is PSC, RCC gutters and deck slab, like this. The RCC solid slab, RCC voided slab, the PSC gutter type of the steel concrete composite deck with the eye gutters, then precast segmental box gutters, then masonry arch bridges. These are the bridges has been identified, has been analyzed in this. The report is in 2 volumes. Volume 1 has 6 chapters and the executive summary. 5th report is given the assumption and recommendation of the volume 2 with annexures are supporting calculations based on the recommendation given. The silent feature of the studies. They have analyzed for spans of 5 to 50 meter as 5 meter interval. Form and type of the support is 12 types. Width of the carriageway 5 types. Analysis, longitudinal, transverse, and spatial analysis for masonry and arch bridges. Loading 13 ST type of loadings and 3 IRC loadings. These are the types of the bridges they have identified. Types of the superstructures they have identified. Masonry arch, RCC solid slab, RCC gutter type, cast in situ, PXC box gutter, precast, and different spans they have taken for their analysis. And this is one type of the carriageway having the 2 lanes. And they have also said that it is also as per the guidelines, if the movement has to be done as close as to the center line of the bridge, at maximum 300 mm eccentricity is allowed from the center line of the bridge. This is another type of the, suppose if it is a discontinued 2-lane carriageway with structural discontinuities, then that movement of this consignment should be as close as to the center of this 2-lane. This is the second type of the, with having superstructure, 3-lane superstructure. This type 3 type of structure. And these are the type of loadings they have taken. This ST1 is 4-axle loading having the maximum 72 tons. ST2 is 6 axles, 108 tons. ST3 is 8 axles, 144 tons. Accordingly, they have analyzed up to ST13, that is having 16 axles, up to 576 ton maximum gross vehicle weight. And 3 IRC loadings they have taken, class A IC loading, then 70R and class AA. These are the loads for which all highway bridges are supposed to have been designed, our IRC. This design is broadly based on the provision of SB 37, 2010. Additional margin kept by introducing a reduction factor to account for aging of the structures. Whatever the structures are there, because some structures are the new, some structures old, but depending on the age factors, they have taken an aging factor also. Age factor is taken as 0.7 for the arch bridges, 1 for the precast segmental deck, and 0.9 for the all other types of the structures. And as for the IRC SP 37, for movement of heavy consignments, then the clause is given. The superstructure design should be checked with load traveling at center with minimum eccentricity of 0.3 meter. The permissible overstress on dead load plus live load combination can be taken as 33% in RCC bridges. For pre-stressed superstructures, tensile stresses should not lead to crack with more than 0.3 mm for such structures having non-tensile reinforcement at all sections. For segmentally constructed bridges, without reinforcement across joints, tension should not exceed beyond 2/3 modulus of rupture for segments with epoxy joints and no tension for dry joints. So, as per here, it is given 33% for a RCC bridges, and for the pre-stressed superstructure, it is given 0.3 mm. So, in this design, this analysis, they have taken more conservative way, and they have taken only 0.2 mm cracks as per this, and 33% as a permissible overstress, what I have given in the SP37. An analysis of various spans, ranges, various widths and various loadings carried out using the StatPro software. And what is the exclusion from this analysis? These are items are excluded from the scope of the exclusion from the scope of the study. The continuous bridges have not been taken. Cantilever bridges, curved bridges, skew bridges with a skew angles greater than 20 degrees, transversely pre-stressed box girders type superstructures, timber bridges, cable stayed bridges, extra door bridges, suspension bridges and truss bridges. These are not a part of the studies. like this, the curved continuous bridge is like this, cantilever bridges, skewed, transversely, timber bridges, cable stayed. Limitation of the study. What is the limitation of it? Overweight consignment of the configuration. Other than those 13 ST loads are excluded from the study. Study report is applicable only for simply supported structures. It is only for simply supported structures. Report is not applicable for bridges designed with the limit state approach, code which has already been published in November 2011. Deficient bridges which are rated below the critical design IRC loading. Bridge is in good condition. What are the assumptions they have taken while analyzing these things? Bridge is in the good condition and capable of carrying the present IRC load. A condition survey of the bridge has been carried out by persons having appropriate qualification skill experience. No other vehicle will fly when the ST loads are passing the bridge. ST load will pass through the center of the bridge with a maximum eccentricity of 300 mm from center of the carriageway in case of carriageway with a structural discontinuity. For double carriageway without structural discontinuity, it should pass through as close as to the center as possible. Like this they have mentioned here. Action of seismic, floods, winds do not exist at the time of passage of the vehicle. Wind speed during passage shall be restricted to 40 km/h. Based on this, they have given the different charts for each type of spans and each type of the different structures. And they have given like this for like one side they have given the carriageway type 1, type 2, 3, like that they have given on the x-axis, and the y-axis they were given the different types of the bridges and with the different types of the spans. And these notes they have given how it is applicable. The above conclusions are for bridges having deck slab without any transverse bridge spacing. The OWC can safely be permitted over all types of the culverts having span less than 6 meters. The above conclusions are based on the conditions and assumptions given separately. Wherever reduced GW is marked in red, corresponding reduced axle load can be calculated by the formula RAL is equal to RCBW minus 25/6, where RAL is the reduced axle load, RCBW is the reduced gross vehicle weight in tons. The transporter shall take permission from the concerned regulatory agencies before taking the ST load over the bridges. In case of structures marked to carry RCW for intermediate spans length, the value of the GW of lower of the two adjacent spans have to be taken. What they have taken here, they have given in this chart for different types of the carriageway and the different bridges having the different spans. They have given some green boxes. Where the green boxes are, it means that they have analyzed that this type of loading. They have given different type of charts, like C1 chart, C2 chart for this type of ST1. This is ST type 1 loading. This is type 2 loading. Accordingly, this type 3, type 4. So what they have given this type of loadings and they have given this different charts. And they have shown that it is like C1 chart for this type of ST1 loading. And all the green boxes are coming. It means so that this type of loading is allowed to pass through the bridges having this type of carriageway and this type of the spans of different types of bridges. And wherever there is a red mark is there, it shows that, and there is a figure written in that red mark. Here, like in case of this one, 131.
Please conclude.
Sir, 1 minute. 131 ton is there. You can say that this type of BSC precast segmental box girder type bridge with a dry joint having 35 meters of span length, and if it is a type ST1 or ST2, whatever type of the loading is there for analyzed for that, it means here this only 131 ton is enough. We cannot go beyond that. So accordingly, he has to go to some other type of, you can put some more axles and then can distribute the load accordingly and pass to the bridges, and after that you can take out that axle. Accordingly, the chart has been given in all these guidelines. We have prepared a guideline.
I think the draft policy circular has been circulated to all of you. Please go through that. Most of the things he has covered. So kindly go through that, and maybe we have you take about a week's time in case you have any suggestions, modifications to be taken into account. or if you want any clarifications, you can get in touch with Mr. Pathak. And then in case no comments are received within a week, take it that yes, this is agreeable, we'll have to move forward with this, and then this policy circular will be issued by the ministry. Thank you, Mr. Pathak. And we will now come to the agenda items. We are already behind schedule. We are already into the tea time, in our tea time. And the next meeting is to start at 11 o'clock in the same hall, council meeting. So we have somebody from, maybe your chief engineer's office, somebody from the field, the executive engineer, somebody from the contractor side, maybe 3 or 4 people team. They have to come and then they will participate, and then they will identify what are the things they can take forward. Geotextiles.
When is it?
It is on 5th and 6th of February. The idea is we have to find some materials and some other ways of constructing to conserve the natural aggregates. And then where it can be slope treatment, it can be rainwater harvesting, it can be even pavement layers, geotextiles. So please identify a team. That team will be the pilot team from the Indian Roads Congress, and they will do whatever they feel like with assistance from ERC and other experts from textiles industry. And then the pilot projects will throw whatever is required for drafting or improving our specifications. We come to the agenda items. If you can send all the stakeholders, we can send a team of 3, one from chief engineer's office, one from executive engineer's office, and the contractor side in case some work is going on, we will draw them in. The team also, because the team has to take the lead. Please send the names within a week to me, personally, because we have to do that, something to change the way we are doing things with the conventional materials. Please come to the agenda items, item number 1. Confirmation of the last minutes. No comments have been received. If you permit, we take it as approved. Item number, and the action taken is given, and some of them are figuring in this details are given there also. So we go to the item number 3, if you permit.
Yes, sir.
Item number 2, follow-up action is already there.
There are 2 issues, sir. One is annual plan has been dedicated for the repair of bridges under annual plan 2012-13. I think we need to carry forward to 2013-14 also, because much of the work has not been done this year, sir.
Yes, please. I will request all the state chief engineers to start finalizing your annual plan. What is the date?